There's one mystery that's always floating around on the internet, and every couple of months or so I see someone talking about this. I saw not too long ago, once again the discussion pops up, and there's a war in the comments trying to decide, is every single Mario actually the same Mario? Now odds are you're probably wondering, what the heck am I talking about? Well, there's more than just mainline Mario. And when I say mainline, I'm talking about 3D, 2D, yes, even Mario Kart and even the Mario Sports spin-offs. That's our guy. That's mainline Mario. But then we start peeling back the layers and realizing there's a lot of other Marios. Like, what about Paper Mario? What about Mario from Mario and Luigi? Shoot, what about the Mario Rabbids Mario, or even Mario RPG Mario? What about Movie Mario? What about Mario Paint Mario? What about Mario Type Mario? Okay, we might have gone too far. I guess an easy explanation for everything could be the fact that there's a multiverse, and that there's variants of Mario all across the universe, and that there could be any type of Mario that we could possibly think of. However, when asked by Game Informer if every single Mario was the same way the links work in the Legend of Zelda franchise, Shigeru Miyamoto stated yes. So, technically, they're all the same Mario because Miyamoto wants it to be that way, but I'm not buying it. Of course, Nintendo's never been the company to care about stories or even series continuities. I mean, just look at the Zelda timeline, it's a freaking mess. So of course, trying to compile all these different Mario stories into one single story continuity is just probably impossible. I mean, shoot, even the mainline Mario games sometimes don't even reference each other. Remember, we were supposed to get Aldolfino and Odyssey. Yeah, that didn't happen. So if the mainline games don't even reference each other all that much, how in the world are we supposed to combine all the stories from the spin-offs? Well, I got some theories for you. But before we get started, you guys are just nutty. 379 of you subscribed just on the other day's video. Like, how? Why? I guess that's one way to start the new year. I mean, ask and you shall receive. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please make sure you leave a like and subscribe. It helps out so much. I am super appreciative of all of you. Let's see if we can get even near that with this video. But, alright. On to the crazy rambling. Let's start off with the main culprit, the game that got everybody to fight about this concept in the first place. Mario & Luigi Paper Jam, the greatest Mario game of all time. Yeah, who am I fooling? This game isn't that great, but mostly because of its blandness, because the gameplay really isn't that bad, especially on a second playthrough, but that's not what I'm talking about today. Anyways, yes, this game did something really weird with its story that kind of combined worlds, and yeah, that's the world of Paper Mario and the world of Mario & Luigi. Now, overall, the Mario & Luigi games seem to be canon. They have some direct callbacks to past Mario games. Princess Peach's castle in each installment seems to be relatively the same in design. The characters kind of keep the same design. We have characters coming from Luigi's Mansion in Mario Sunshine, like Bowser Jr., and also the return of Egad. So overall, it seems as if the world of Mario & Luigi is pretty much mainline Mario. Now, there are some arguments that we can make. We never see any of the main or even side characters for the most part from the Mario & Luigi series in the mainline games, but like I just previously said, there's a lot of mainline Mario games that don't reference past games either. I mean, we don't have any Piantas and Nokis in any 3D Mario outside of Sunshine. Now, this guy doesn't count because he's like the Mario multiverse Nexus being. He's in literally everything in every iteration. Now, most of these characters just kind of appear and they go along their way, or they're from some other region like the Bean Bean Kingdom or Pilo Island, somewhere entirely different from the Mushroom Kingdom, so I get that. I mean, Mario Wonder takes place in the Flower Kingdom, so I doubt we'll see the Poplins or even Prince Florian anytime soon, but that doesn't mean it's not canon. However, there's one character in the Mario & Luigi series that's just not explained, because there's one character that constantly follows Princess Peach around, and that's Starlo, who's made her appearance in over 3 Mario & Luigi games so far. Interestingly enough, Starlo's one of the only characters to return in Mario & Luigi Brothership from past Mario & Luigi games, outside of a couple references with reefs in the game, but yeah, they kind of made it that Starlo is kind of best friends with Princess Peach and her sidekick at some point. So where is Starlo in the mainline Mario games? Maybe she's still to come in a future installment, but so far we haven't seen her, so there is one argument that we can definitely make. But other than that, it seems like the Mario & Luigi from the Mario & Luigi series is the mainline Mario & Luigi as well. But let's go back to the game that changes and shifts everything around, and that's Mario & Luigi Paper Jam. At the beginning of the game, Luigi is helping Toad in this old closet within Peach's castle track down a rat, but at the same time, being clumsy, he knocks a book off of the shelf, which seems to be the book from Paper Mario Sticker Star. This is the same book that all the events of that game actually take place in. And this is exactly where Paper Mario comes from. So Paper Mario comes to the real world and hangs out with the real Mario and Luigi, and same with the other paper creatures from that world, with Paper Bowser, Paper Kamek, and even Paper Peach. Interestingly enough, throughout the game, the characters talk with each other, and we find out that their worlds are pretty much mirrored, parallel universes where the same things happen in each of their universes, just one is made out of paper and the other is made out of flesh. Now, some people argue that because they are very much alike in personality and even their dialogue and their past experiences from their respected worlds, that these are the same characters. However, they're here at the same time. The fact that all the Paper Mario games seem to all take place within a book makes me believe that this is a different universe altogether with these characters. They're all the same characters, but like I stated before, in a different multiverse. So no, I don't think Paper Mario and Mario are the same character, but I think it goes even further with Paper Mario. Look at the book from Sticker Star. It's not the same book that we got from Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door. They might be both red with a star, but they're two completely different books with completely different theming as well, where the one from the Thousand Year Door definitely looks a lot older and more mature, where the one from Sticker Star looks like it was maybe written by a 4-year-old. Sticker Star hate aside, yes, these books seem to be different, and it made me wonder if the first 3 Paper Mario games were so vastly different because they're completely different worlds compared to the latter 3. Yes, Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door has references to 64, and Super Paper Mario even references both games, like with Mario and Luigi's home and literally the pictures of the past partners on their table. For Sticker Star, Color Splash, and Origami King all seem to take place within the same world, as it's nothing but toads, no unique characters, the same base location, and the same enemies and characters that we've seen, but no callbacks to past partners or unique characters that we had in the first 3 games. And a lot of people like to believe that this is because the newer 3 Paper Mario games are in its own universe, in its own book, separate from the first 3, which is pretty interesting. So yes, I think there's 2 different Paper Marios. The one we saw in Mario & Luigi Paper Jam is from the Sticker Star collection for that book, and I think there's another Paper Mario that's for the first 3 games from the Thousand Year Door, 64, and Super Paper Mario. And if that ends up being the case, you could make an argument that the book from Sticker Star is a little bit different from the book from Paper Jam, but I do believe they're the same books, or at least part of the same collection. I mean, look, they look exactly the same minus a star replaced with a mushroom. Shoot, you might even be able to make a super stretch and say maybe they just kept redesigning the book, or maybe the book belonged to a dad and a kid got a hold of it and completely ruined that book for 10 years. However, there's still some continuity similarities with all the Paper Mario games and the mainline Mario games as well. There's some characters and enemies that do appear in mainline and Paper Mario. For instance, you have the Goomba King that actually made an appearance in Mario 64 DS that comes directly from Paper Mario 64. You also have the Star Spirits from Paper Mario 64, which does have some debut like in Mario Party, and you had Wackas appear in Mario Party as well, coming from Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door. So clearly there are some cross references that we can pull from. But at the end of the day, we can't necessarily draw conclusions from that because it doesn't matter. Both worlds seem to be very much the same. They're parallel universes, so they can have all the characters that we have in the mainline Mario world, but just in their own right. For instance, we do eventually see the Koopalings make an appearance in Color Splash, but not in any other Paper Mario game. So it's safe to say that any character or enemy that exists in the mainline Mario games, they could definitely exist in Paper Mario as well. But these paper versions are just parallel versions or variants of their original counterparts within these storybooks. But what about Mario RPG? I think most people actually consider this game canon. However, there are some major differences where the entirety of Mushroom Kingdom, for one, seems entirely different than any other Mario project ever. Princess Peach's castle is completely changed and looks more like Hyrule Castle with gray bricks and blue roofing, which doesn't match her pink or even red and white castle that she has in past Mario games. So I don't know if this is just a change or shift, or maybe even a certain point in the timeline where this was maybe before Princess Peach changed her castle, or maybe it's sometime in the far future, but I choose to believe that this is just another alternate reality Mario. Lots of the characters and even enemies within this universe look a lot different and a lot stranger in comparison when we compare them with their mainline counterparts. I mean, just look at some of these enemies in this game. This doesn't seem like the same Mario we know and love. In fact, even Toad Town and the Mushroom Kingdom itself is very, very different in this world. Shoot, in this world, Mario doesn't even hit question blocks. He instead hits question chess, which is also completely abnormal for Mario in any different series. So yeah, I'm kind of inclined to believe that Mario RPG takes place in an entirely different universe, a different timeline, yeah, somewhere in the grand Mario multiverse. And if Mario RPG is already an alternate world, there's also an alternate world within this alternate world where the gang actually fights this super boss from Final Fantasy called Culex, which is a secret boss of the game. According to his in-game description, it states that he's from the world called Last Illusion, and his actual description states, I am matter, I am antimatter, I can see your past, I can see your future, I consume time, and I will consume you. So it's almost like he's the time eater from Sonic Generations, where he's able to cross timelines and generations, and he actually fights Mario from a whole nother universe altogether. So yeah, the Mario RPG universe is all kinds of messed up. Now, one of the last games we have is Mario Rabbids, which seems to be the same world, but overall developers did state and confirmed it to be a totally new story and world for Mario. In fact, it's not canon at all, they claim. However, this pretty much does confirm then that this is in fact a whole nother world, with a completely different Mario, Luigi, and the whole gang is a completely different Mario, Luigi, and friends than the ones that we're used to. So this does seem to be a story built on the multiverse, a whole nother universe of Mario, and it doesn't take place in our current Mario canon. However, this is not surprising considering the fact that people would probably lose their minds if they found out that the Rabbids were Mario canon. But there's still one more Mario that we have to tie into all of this, and that's Poopy Mario. Well, what about Baby Mario? We know that he actually comes from the Yoshi's Island games, but that whole story and timeline is very confusing, because then it starts making us ask the question, what's the true canon birth of Mario? Which is something that we're probably gonna have to go into in a whole separate video. Now, the Mario movie gives Mario the story of him growing up in Brooklyn, which is kind of the story for any media Mario project, shows or movies. It's always been this story, where they grew up in Brooklyn, New York, and actually went down a drain and found themselves within the Mushroom Kingdom. But within the movie, Mario and Luigi has a full family and a mom and dad. However, the only video game information we have as Mario as a child comes from Yoshi's Island, where a stork actually delivered the babies Mario and Luigi to their parents that lived in a mushroom house within the Mushroom Kingdom already. So in Yoshi's Island, it seems like they were already born in the Mushroom Kingdom and the stork delivered them. So there's two ways we could look at this. One, baby Mario and baby Luigi were actually from the real world and brought to their new parents in the Mushroom Kingdom by the stork, or two, they were just made somehow and the stork dropped them off and we'll never know exactly how. Or maybe this isn't canon to the Mario timeline. In fact, maybe there is a story that we just haven't explored in the games yet where Mario does come from Brooklyn, meaning that the Yoshi games are also from an alternate timeline. And of course, we didn't even discuss in detail where the Mario movie stands in all this. Is that also an alternate timeline? Is that a different dimension, different universe altogether? There's so many questions with all of this, and of course this one video will never be able to answer all the questions that we have. But to make a long story short, do I believe Miyamoto when it comes to, is every single Mario actually the same Mario? No. I think there's a lot of evidence that proves that there are different universes for different Marios. There's two different ones for Paper Mario potentially, Mario RPG being in a different world, Mario Rabbids, and maybe even Yoshi's Island and the Mario movie itself, and maybe even the spin-off shows. There's a lot of different Marios that could be at play here. But you know what? If Big Boss Man says they're the same, then they're the same. All we can do is speculate until we start getting more information in future Mario games. Hopefully the next 3D Mario actually does give us some sort of background for Mario, because the more I think about it, we really don't have any type of game equivalent to the Mario movie of how Mario and Luigi even got to the Mushroom Kingdom in the first place. Are they plumbers from Brooklyn, or are they just Mushroom Kingdom residents like Yoshi's Island suggests? To me, all these Mario stories come off as different chapters from different universes, that is, outside of our canon Mario timeline. So let me know in the comments down below what you think. Do you think every single Mario is the same, or do you think they're different? Do you agree or disagree, and let me know why. But either way, can we please prune this timeline? Please, Nintendo?